Welcome to 5 Minute Fridays. Why do we feel depressed so often? You know, our lives are really pretty good, but if you're like me, many of us, some more than others, get up in the morning and just many times have a sort of a black, dark feeling of depression that makes it hard to get rolling. And many times we say to ourselves, well, I've got to read my scriptures and pray and do all of these things, and yet we can't quite bring ourselves to do that, and so what we do instead is just try to find means of escape from our feelings of depression, whether that's eating or watching television or just sort of disappearing. So here are 3 things that are constructive things that you might do that may not seem overtly spiritual, but that you might do if you are feeling depressed that might help. They always help me. First of all, I try to learn something. I write. Many days I spend writing, and I find that very, very difficult to do. And if I'm having kind of a rough day and I don't feel like writing, the more I tell myself to write, the worse I feel. So what I do instead is I tell myself to read. And I love to read, so that's not a problem. I decide to learn something. Here's what Merlin says to Ward in The Once and Future King, and that became The Sword and the Stone. And this is kind of my motto for life. The best thing for being sad, said Merlin, is to learn something. It's the only thing that never fails. You may grow old and trembling in your anatomies. You may lie awake at night listening to the disorder of your veins. You may miss your only true love. You may see the world around you devastated by evil lunatics. There is only one thing for it then: learn. That is the only thing which the mind can never exhaust, never alienate, never be tortured by, never fear or distrust, and never dream of regretting. Learn why the world wags and what wags it. Learning is the only thing for you. Look at what a lot of things there are to learn. So when I'm kind of discouraged, rather than thinking to myself that I've got to solve whatever it is that's making me feel bad, I take my mind off my life and my problems and get on to learning something new and really sort of set a goal for myself. I get my notebook out and I decide that I'm going to learn about something I've been putting off learning. And a lot of times it just makes me feel better and I get kind of excited, and then pretty soon I feel like sharing that with somebody, and before you know it, I've got my notebook out and I'm starting to write. Another thing that will help always, I think, if you are discouraged, is to take a quick look at your relationships and not go over and over everything that everybody's done that has upset you, but try to find 1 or 2 constructive things that you can do to make that relationship a little bit better. Pope Francis, whom I admire very much, gave a talk to the Catholic youth a couple of years ago, and he said it's very important to worry about the purity of the air and the health of the earth and those kinds of things. But he said beyond that is a human ecology that is so important. And we should look at the purity of our relationships and see what we are doing that might be causing an imbalance in those relationships, that might be causing unhappiness to other people. You can take a quick little survey in your mind, and I bet you can think of 2 or 3 things that you're doing right this minute or not doing that could cause unhappiness or happiness in the lives of people around you. There's a way you could make the world a better place without even getting out of that chair, maybe by making a phone call, writing a note. It's not hard. You know, you can do it. You don't even have to get out of your jammies. Okay, last thing of all has to do with that. In his last public address, Howard W. Hunter gave a beautiful little list of things. I think there's 22 of them that he suggested we do at Christmas. But since we all feel better at Christmas, I thought you might listen to this list. And if something strikes out at you today, then that's Heavenly Father talking to you and saying, hey, you may never sort out what it is that's giving you kind of that blue feeling today, but grab one of these things and do it, and you'll feel better. Mend a quarrel. Seek out a forgotten friend. Dismiss suspicion and replace it with trust. Write a letter. Give a soft answer. Encourage youth. Manifest your loyalty in word and deed. Keep a promise. Forgo a grudge. Forgive an enemy. Apologize. Try to understand. Examine your demands on others. Think first of someone else. Be kind, be gentle, laugh a little more, express your gratitude, welcome a stranger, gladden the heart of a child. Take pleasure in the beauty and wonder of the earth. Speak your love and speak it again. Out of those, just as I read them aloud, I could think of 2 or 3 things that only yesterday I was thinking to myself, I need to express this to so-and-so. My heavens, I've been a little too demanding on so-and-so. And is there a way that I could let so-and-so know how much I think of them and what wonderful people they are? Now look at all those fun things we've done We didn't even get out of our chairs. We can learn something, we can encourage others, we can send some love out into the world. And then once we've done that, maybe we take a half an hour, 45 minutes, and just try to do some things right while we're sitting here feeling blue, just to make the world a little bit better place and to send some love out into the world. And at that point, you might be able to crawl into some clothes and maybe go for a walk or do one of those things on your to-do list. Many, many, many people struggle every day with a kind of a feeling of depression that they must overcome. I really think it's part of sort of the air pressure of life that's all around us. And we can, simply through marshaling those forces of love within us, blow a little of that away and start the day in a better frame of mind. I hope it's a great day for you, and I just want to express my love to all of you who are sharing these. I appreciate it. Subscribe to this little YouTube channel, and I'll figure out how to be sure you get a notification every time one of these happens. Have a nice day.